Tech lead, which background? Which background are you referring to? And good evening, buddy. Thank you for joining, at least for whatever time that might be. I mean, that's just how my room looks like now. I'm doing some physics and electronics. So basically, yeah. So I have a workbench with a oscilloscope and soldering machine and microscope and a lot of other stuff. So, oh, Cedric, buddy, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. So yeah, it's just the room has been changed a bit because I have another desk behind me. So this thing right behind me here is a microscope. It's like an electronics microscope. Then there's an oscilloscope, a soldering machine, and a bunch of just hardware. So that's kind of new there. But it's the same room. It's the same room. Just a couple of different things, I would say. Alrighty, guys. Good evening. So good to be with you. Yes, let me just close up a couple of things here before I share my screen. Chica, my friend. Good evening, buddy. You good? I just deployed some new services to production, so I'm just gonna quickly close that stuff up so we don't look at that. To be very honest with you, like the electronic stuff, it's more like a career, like enhancement type of thing. I mean, I always loved hardware and I always wanted to build my own PCBs, but I would say that it is fun, but it's also, you know, it's not just for fun, it's also for the career's sake, right? So I would say diversifying your skills, you know, and basically I could say now after these 20 years that I feel truly full stack, right? I can probably design a simple PCB and I know how electrons flow and I know how to, you know, do that, but I also know how to build a clickable web app, and I also know how to build backends and networking and stuff. So I would say the beauty of it, as you could say, is that yeah, it gives you confidence. Clickable, exactly, typical hard worker. Yeah, I can make things clickable and I can make buttons hoverable, but I can also do all the other things. So that is kind of the fun part. It gives you kind of satisfaction, confidence, and I think it's just awesome. I mean, actually, if you take a look right at my workbench, it's the latest thought that's shared on Programmer Network. You'll notice that it's just a tiny corner. You don't need to buy an oscilloscope. You don't need to buy a programmable battery, right, or any of that. Like, you can start simple. You can buy some LEDs. You can buy some you know, resistors, capacitors, some diodes and stuff like that, etc., etc. So yeah. Can you give gradient effect? That is where my skills stop. Yeah. Alrighty. Can you center a div? Actually, ironically, yeah, that was a issue for so many people for so long. That's true, yeah. That is very true, yes. No, it's not even a joke at this point, I think. Alrighty, so I can give you some guidelines here, and that's not what we're gonna be doing today. But so what I've started doing today is finally making internal dashboards for Programmer Network. So we have now AppSmith deployed, and we're gonna be building. So I'm gonna be doing this project for probably a couple of days. Every day I'll try to make a new dashboard. So for those of you who don't know, if you ever worked in a startup or a company, or you had your own company, one of the worst possible things that you want to do is build your own internal dashboards, because that is the absolute waste of time, aka resource, aka money. So typically what you do, you either use Retool, like this thing, or you use AppSmith, which is what I use, right? So what you do, you connect to different sources like your Postgres database or any other database, your API, and then instead of manually building dashboards for you know, your own stuff, you kind of build them like this. So you can see this is my user engagement dashboard with some stuff that I'm building, and I'll probably end up with maybe 10 different dashboards for Cedric and I, because Cedric is back helping the product. And then we'll build a, you know, content management, you could say, type of stuff here, so we can remove unwanted content and stuff. So this is kind of what I'm gonna be working on slowly over a couple of days or weeks, and build a couple of these dashboards, so I can actually then start getting these users on Programming Network active. Actually, give me 1 second. I just need to pin. I always forget about that, so I'm just gonna do this. So I can actually reactivate. We have, you know, 2,500 users, and many of them probably never logged in after they signed up, right? So we'll need to spend some time on reactivating the users while we build these features, because I think we can build an awesome community, but it takes effort, you know, getting the people in. So I'll be building these off stream, yeah, what can I say? That's gonna be a project. Then we have our issues here, our monitoring. So there's not much here. There's some of these errors that we are actually so there's the rate limiting exceeded, so something is hitting the rate limit on our reverse proxy level. So yeah, so some of these things are worth looking at, and I'll also kind of expose this to Cedric at one point. Don't drop the database, so he also has access to these things. One thing that I've changed before we start, as you can see now, I actually made this card a proper card. So you can see now when you share a thought, there's basically, this looks nicer, this image. So let me show you how it used to look before. Actually, I just realized, so this is how it looked before. So actually we need to go ahead and fix this as well versus this, right? So yeah, let's start now somewhere. Let me actually go here to this event. What did I write that we're gonna focus on today? Prioritize small bugs, focus on fixing regressions, and so basically we're gonna do what Cedric was asking me to do, which is yeah, fix up a bit of courses and stuff. And then I found some bugs here, so actually we'll fix that as well. Okay, cool. Well, but anyway, hopefully let's have a good time and have fun. It's Friday, so I don't know how many people will join. But yeah, it's Christmas soon. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. Let's get started, I guess. Let's just ensure that the stuff is running locally already. And it is, so very good. Okay. Well, I mean, I have 2 kids and a wife, so I would say holidays are still fine. I think it all boils down to who do you spend the holidays with, right? All right, so let's do this. Then I'm gonna go, and so we're gonna start. I don't have anyone. I mean, you have yourself, man. You have your own life, so that's also something to be grateful about, right? Okay, so let's now fix this as well. So let's go ahead and start coding a bit. Let me just close some of the stuff here so I don't expose something. Let's move this thing in here. And so we're gonna close all of the chats, including this one. And let's kind of start slamming stuff a bit. So the first thing, as I said, I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to the views. We're gonna go to profile. We're gonna go to components. We're gonna go to, I suppose, tabs, maybe profile thoughts, yes? And somewhere in here, most likely there's an infinite list. This is the list item, I suppose. Yeah, right? So if we go, yeah, this is okay. Okay, so let's kind of, obviously, some of the simple things we're gonna instantly give to AI. And then we're gonna go and say single, we're gonna search for single thought. So that piece of code should look like a single thought, for example, or a thought that's part of the thoughts feed. Simply put, it should also properly render an image, etc. Rebecca, friend, good evening. So we're gonna start here with this bad boy. Edwin, good evening, friend. Thank you very much for coming, man. I'm very good, man. I been at work, been with my kid, wife, another kid, and yeah, just tried to learn something new, and yeah, so it's been a long week. Hopefully you're good as well. I'm happy it's a weekend now, so it's coming. So got 2 days to chill out a bit. Meaning, yeah. All right, I don't know what this guy is doing so much, so we're gonna do that. Let me again go ahead here though and read what I planned for today. Small bugs. Okay, so let's, while AI is working on something, let's move here. Let's go here. Courses, yeah, bugs, okay. Sure, article edit failed, so this one is fixed. So Cedric, if you're there, I'm gonna move this one, editing of articles, to done. So I'll just move this bad boy here, and actually that should be closed. Close. Cool. And then courses, yeah. So well, let's see. Let's get this data to this guy to. All right, let's give it a shot. This, like this. This is a very simple thing. I just want to unify it. We'll close this for now. Some couple of these things, and then close that crap as well. And then we're gonna stare at the AI a little bit. Profile thoughts, yes. So it would be nice if we have in fact been reusing a single component. So we're gonna see that in a moment now. I think in retrospect, they should really be a single thought component that we reuse, but let's see. So maybe that's how we start this stream today. So let's see what this bad boy is gonna do, if it makes any sense, etc, etc. Yeah, I mean, this is not gonna obviously go. This is pretty bad, but it's okay. We'll, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, because we're in a callback. Yeah, so this thing will need to, yeah, kind of, because we have 3 places where we have this thing. We have it on the feed here, we have it as a single view here, and then we have it under the profile. So I think it would be way more easier to maintain this, right, and follow, having it just centralized. Okay, now it kind of works, and that's cool, right? But now in retrospect, let's just uniform it, right? Yeah, so now you could say it works, and you could say, yeah, cool. But I believe that at this point we should have a single thought component that's reused in the in 3 places. Thoughts feed, single thought, and this one. We have this logic duplicated now several times. So let's ensure that we reuse the same component in each context. So of course we're gonna have to design these props a little bit better now. Let's see what we have to do and also what AI suggests, just to speed it up. But essentially the representation of it is the same in every single place, no matter where you are. So technically there should be no difference. Maybe just slightly redesigned interface for the props. But besides that, I would not expect it to, because this is really the part that we need to, generalize. Yeah, that's kind of what we want to do exactly. So, I mean, at least that is the good start. And then we'll see. I think there's more to do there to improve, but it's actually relevant. I think once it executes this, the platform looks so clean. XX. I mean, honestly, as I said many times before, I'll never quit this. This is something I do out of pure passion, right? And if it becomes something one day, great. If it doesn't, still great, because I'm meeting a lot of people, making sure that I keep my skills, maintaining all of these things there. And so either way, I find it as a win. And thank you very much. It means a lot to hear that. But I think I'll never stop building it. And as long as there are few people around who log in and leave a thought or two and write an article or two, I'm more than happy. I never built this for the sake of money, and of course if it ever turned into that to provide something, why not? But right now it's truly trying to build something cool that can host the. But yeah, this is not like a toy project. It's something I'll be doing for a very long time, and with limited time I have. Of course, if I didn't have a job and kids and wife and other activities, of course things would go faster. But you have the time that you have, and you make the best out of it, right? So it's by no means a complaint. It's rather just observation that we have the time we have, and we can either complain and never do anything, or we can do the best we can. So that is basically the sentiment, I would say. I mean, when you kind of, yeah. When you look at all of these guys who are actually successful with their startups and whatever they're building, right? You typically hear like the end of the story, right? Like when you go to most conferences, when you watch YouTube, and when you hear a bunch of these people, you hear, but the journey of these people is always like that, right? You have to just, no matter what you're doing, you just have to show the you need to show continuity, persistence, and many other things. So that is the hard part of really succeeding in anything. You want to go to gym, you want to learn to play a sport, you want to learn a new language, you want to really do anything. The main blocker is continuity, consistency, grit, right? So it's not really about resources. I mean, I think all of us, whoever is sitting tonight in this stream, is already highly privileged in life, right? Because the fact that you're sitting somewhere by the computer already makes us all highly privileged, right? So in a way, really what prevents us to accomplish anything is our own self, right? That is just the hard truth about it, right? Really, the biggest blocker to one is yourself. Okay, wow. I mean, surprisingly, the AI has really crushed it here. It has done, I mean, it's almost like regex on steroids, but it has done an awesome work. And the human condition, yeah, exactly. I mean, you could say that has always been the case. I mean, you have people from terrible pieces of earth coming, to the Western world, and oftentimes people are like, these people are coming to take our jobs. And it's like, man, how ridiculous that is. I mean, if somebody from some end of the world comes and takes your job away, then you really suck, right? I mean, that's almost a tragic thing to say. It's like, these people are coming here to take our jobs. It's like, dude, don't say that, man, because you're degrading yourself and you're not even aware of that. Yazid on YouTube, good evening, buddy. Thank you very much for coming. Oh wow, actually no, I do have it, yeah. Locking in, yeah, I mean, it's yeah, a lot of people, it's static. So yeah, it's just, that's what it is, right? That's really, there's no philosophy. You don't need to read books about it or anything. That's really it. If you're any self-aware or any self-aware, it's very, very simple, you could say. In theory, it's very simple. Obviously, in practice, for most people, it's very hard. But that's what it takes. Only thing it really takes in life is that you put just a little bit more effort than someone else. That's really at the end of the day what it is. Not 300% more effort. Sometimes it's just 20% more effort and you're already gonna be better than most. That is just how it is. That is a harsh reality. Okay, nice. Very good. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful, yes. Okay, so now we now we have to ensure that it actually works, because now it farted out as soon as I liked the yeah, so we'll need to now ensure that it actually works. Oh, actually it's doing something, I see. Profile thoughts, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. George, good evening on YouTube. How are you doing? Okay, interesting. Yeah, that is kind of weird. I mean, yeah. All right, so AI has messed up there slightly bit, and that's okay. We'll recalibrate that. All right, let's just actually we could fix that, but let's see what it did. In fact, let's take a look at the. So it created the hooks as I told it to. Very nice. And then what did it do here? Taught content, okay. Taught item, yeah, that's correct. Let's actually just restart the Docker container here, just for fun, because maybe something there is farting out. La 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 la. Okay, so it was kind of a Docker container type of thing. We just had to, but then also we need to. Yeah, so let's see now. So let's also debug ourselves. So we have the created it go, so we called it. Let's take a look at the stack trace. So we have use infinite array map. Let's see where this one is. Okay. So we have use thoughts, use infinite. So we call, yeah, so we get them, and then we call this thing here. So it seems what we're getting back, it's kind of, I see. So most likely there's a discrepancy. We're not getting the same things in every single view, right? So as we, most likely, yeah, that's what I would expect. Because for example, most likely under the thoughts, under the feed, you know, we're not getting the same schema as we're getting. Let's actually try going in here and then doing this. Yeah, it's gonna work here, right? So that's most likely, yeah, most likely if we get over here in the paginated view, we're not getting created at all. Let's take a look at that. That would be my assumption. Yes, exactly, right? So no, we're getting it like this, created at like this, okay? And then if we go to the actual thing, how are we getting it here? Is it the same? Maybe, let's see. It already has a transformed, I see it, transformed data, okay, okay. Yeah, that kind of sucks, sure. Should we try again? Okay, that seemed to have worked, yes. Sure. And then where else was it? So we had a single one like this view, right? Yes. Okay, still works, cool. We go under the profile. Yeah, okay, so I mean, I guess other people could in theory come to my view here. Let me actually do that for someone else. So if I go to foobar 4, can I now do, okay, nice. So I can go to their profile. Okay, so we actually missed this before. Okay, amazing, super nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I really hate this mutate. This comes from this external library, the fetch. Like I hate this the way that it handles this. But actually, it's fine because now it's kind of all aggregated inside of this custom hook. So that's fine. Let's actually just test a couple more things. So clicking on tags, does it work? So if I do this and then write something. If I click on agile, is it still working? It is, beautiful. If we go here, okay, very good. Okay, let's deploy that. I would think so. Let me just double check. So we kind of did this, beautiful. Single thought is now just a container. just basically a container component that's still using the thought item. The only thing I dislike is that this thought item whatsoever is here. The last thing is I don't think that this component location-wise any longer belongs there. I believe it would be better suited in the root of components. What do you think? Let's see what the AI thinks, if it agrees with me, but I'm sure it has to, because it makes no sense. I think we should move this to the actual components because it's no longer just the feed. And then let's move away from this. I think this already, yeah. Exactly, yes. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let it to move it primarily because then it can update the references as well, so I don't have to do it. And then you could say we move away from this one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ah, shit, I should have done it. Crap, what a waste of... Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. Just wasting tokens. Yeah. I thought that it's literally gonna just do the move, right? Are you using React with Vita? Yes, yes. Oh, what a waste. What a waste. And now it should nuke the old one, and then, but yeah, I should have done this. Okay, getting a bit too lazy there, but it's fine. It's okay. All right, cool, beautiful. We can, in fact, now deploy this. Let's go here, pm format. Let's generate a commit message. Hopefully the Husky stuff will be fine. Okay, beautiful. Let's push that, and that's awesome. Cool. Josh, buddy, good evening. Which one, Cedric? The thing that I just pushed? Or the... Ah, yeah, of course, man, don't worry. I can review it on the stream if you push it. What do you use to check everything? It's called Husky pre-commit hook. Husky pre-commit hook. So it's basically like a shell script that executes various things. I can show it to you, and it's agnostic of technology, you could say. If we go into Husky here, right? you can see we have a bunch of things, but here we have husky sh, or where was it? Where was it? Where are you? Let's actually find it like this. Give me one. Never mind. Here it is, right? So you can see basically it's almost like a shell script, right? That just runs a bunch of. Actually, it is a shell script. Just runs a bunch of stuff, checks for if I have any console logs left, if I have any to-dos left. So it runs the tests, right? So basically, before you commit, this all has to pass. Otherwise, you can't commit. So when you do git commit and then you say message, right? And you try to commit, if this fails, you can't commit. So in simple words, it's one of additional layer besides continuous integration server, your CI and CD. So you don't push crap that's broken, right? Cedric, no, that's not normal. That's not normal. I resubscribed for 37 months. Oh my god, Matty. Good evening, buddy. Leanne, my pleasure, of course. Thank you for asking. Nothing that... Thank you, Matty, and good evening, buddy. Good to have you. Fun fact, Matty is my first ever viewer on this channel, I believe. So I started streaming. I mean, I'm not an active streamer or content creator, but I think I streamed like 3 years ago for the first time or whatever. And I believe he was the first viewer of mine. So thank you very much, buddy, for sticking around when I stream. And yeah, I haven't streamed now for 8 months and he still comes back. So I respect that a lot, man. Thank you. One kind of guy. Exactly. Exactly. No question about that. No question about that, for sure. Okay, beautiful. Maya, welcome back. Thank you very much for being here. All right, great start. So we've kind of consolidated that, and that kind of puts me at ease. It's kind of funny it took this long. And now let's see what we all need Maddie, exactly. Ben, thank you very much for, or Ben, I don't know what. Thank you very much for the follow, dude. Appreciate it. We'll prioritize some small bugs. Okay, let's see if there's anything small, still small before article showing the wrong author. Oh, the sync, the SQLite sync. Shit. Yeah, it was recreating stuff every time. Yeah. All right, that's unfortunate. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me see what's next. Oh yeah, fuck. There's a PR that. So let's do a bit of front end today. Let me just rebase this PR. Hopefully there's nothing here to let's see. Okay, that's great, I believe. So let's just I should have fast forwarded that, but it's okay. But if I actually give me 1 second, let me just, I think there was no correlation between this PR and anything that I recently updated, so that's fine. Pull requests, yeah, it's this one, it's the draft one, right? Yeah. So we can kind of clear up this history here, because we could. Okay, so let me show you what I was trying to work on. Not probably the most important thing, you could say, even a little bit useless, you could say, for this limited time I have, but it's basically a complete account completion flow that I believe was more than underwhelming. That the current one is more than underwhelming. So So basically, yeah, so it's this flow. I'm trying to improve it. So like you sign up, you confirm your email, then you end up here. And then, you know, I've added a couple of things like welcome, some rules. I actually stole this or got inspired by this awesome other platform called what's it called? Man, what was it? Come on, Mastodon, yeah. So I kinda got inspired by them. They have like super nice. So when you go here, they have this crap. Of course, they use every single modern woke word, racism, sex. I don't even know what some of these words mean. So of course, I'm not gonna use this. But when you read this thing, you either lose faith in humanity or that these guys are just overdoing it. But sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, I don't know what that is. Xenophobia, casteism. Jesus Christ, man. I think they used every word on ism that exists. Anyway, got inspired by that. It's just I wrote it in a normal human language. And now actually what we could do, so this RSS import works. Ableism is people making fun of disabled people. Okay, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, if you need, yeah, this world is fucked up, man. Oh, ableism, I see, it's like, okay, I see. So it's, I see. All right, cool. Ableism is like disableism. I get it. Actually, I'm not trying to. This is not a joke. Let me tell you one story. It's yeah, exactly. So maybe 10-15 years ago, when I worked in Sweden, I joined the company. Exactly. I agree, Prince. Actually, I think if you go to Programmer Network, somewhere, I don't know where that is. I think I had it at one point somewhere. Let me see where it is. But I think I had like terms of service. Shit, do we even have that anymore? I literally had like 2 sentences written exactly like you just said. Let me try to find that. Actually, it's kind of ironic that I... Anyway, not the greatest subject, but okay. So getting back to this, so what we could do in a stream today, we could try to, so the RSS feed works already. So that's good. We could support Markdown files. So if you come from a blog where you work where the Markdown was used, we can kind of do that as well. And then there's this DevTO platform that we can also use, right? Yeah, Josh. Actually, nothing relevant. I joined a guy who hired me for one startup, and in his ad he wrote, we only hire hand-picked people. And I, for some reason, read handicapped people, right? So after I started working with him, maybe 2-3 months later, we were sitting in a bar, and I say, "Hey man, listen, Henrik, I'm very sorry to ask this, but why did you, in your job ad, why did you say that you're only hiring handicapped people, right?" And he said, "What?" And I said, "No, I mean, I read in your ad, it says handicapped." It's like, "No man, it said hand-picked people." And I'm like, dude, it just relates to that. But that was my, yeah. Anyway, I just found it back then. You know, it's like, do you consider me handicapped? You know, that's kind of what I asked. And he wrote hand-picked, and it's so close, like to handicapped, that hand-picked. I just read it like that. That's okay. Let's work on this feature. Let's work on importing markdown files. Yeah. True story. I swear to God. True story. And we were, of course, laughing later on. We are both nerds. But I was that serious, man. It's just we're sitting in Helsingborg in Sweden. I just asked the guy, like, hey man, I'm very sorry, you know, it's just this has been on my mind, you know, for like 2 months. I joined your company 2 months ago. Like, why did you say handicapped people, right? Because I don't know, like, because for 2 months I thought that he thinks something about me that he didn't, right? So should have asked sooner, but I was happy knowing that he doesn't think of me certain things. Okay. Should have cleared out that uncertainty sooner, but you know, you live and learn. You live and learn. Okay, so one thing that I know is that we have access to this tip tab markdown. I swear to God it is. Oh man. No, it was man, dude. Just before I continue building this, so when I lived in Sweden, I worked in a city called Helsingborg, which is on a right across Denmark. Now I live in Denmark. It's like 1 hour away from Copenhagen, where I live now. And we went I worked at the incubator accelerator for startups for one time called Mind Park. I can show it to you. I basically worked in this place here. And, you know, I helped, this is where we had our presentations, and, you know, it's a beautiful place. I think it was, this place was, I believe, gotten an award for the 11th most exotic co-working space in Europe or in the world. I don't remember. So actually we were sitting in this very meeting room here, and I'm sitting here, and my co-founder is sitting here, and there are two dudes presenting on this TV. And they came, they're like, yeah, you know, we've been working on this software of ours for 23 years, right? And they're like both 60. And they wanted to sell us some software, and they tried to share the screen. They share the screen, and you know, one of them tries to open the software, and the software doesn't work. The binary doesn't open. And my co-founder sitting right across me writes to me just like this over the laptop. He says, super stable. And man, I don't know why, he just triggered my nerve so much. I started crying out of laughter. So I ran away from this very chair here. I don't know, it was either one of these two, or I don't remember exactly where. And man, I ran to the bathroom and I was crying out of laughter for like 10 minutes. And I thought, fuck man, I mean, this guy was my co-founder, but his parents were investors in our own startup. So I'm like, man, he's gonna get pissed. He's gonna get mad. Very unprofessional, right? You don't just start crying out of laughter in the meeting room, right? And then he comes to the bathroom and he asks me, man, are you okay? I'm like, dude, and he also then starts laughing. Anyway, these two guys, of course, left. They got pissed. But it's like, man, it's just, they were hilarious. You have these super introvert, tall, two Swedish dudes. They're like 60. They worked on a software for like 23 years. And then they can't even open it, right? It's just the whole situation. Like, of course, it's very hard to laugh about it like this. But like, if you were there, you would understand why I laughed. It's just everything was just funny. From the moment we entered the room, the feeling of these dudes, like we poured our life and soul into this software. Like, they built it up so much, like they oversold it so much, and then when they were supposed to present it, it doesn't want to boot up. And man, that was just beautiful. I don't know. All right, let's do some more coding now. But yeah. I never ever in my entire life met any dudes except these two. That's why, you know why I memorized this story? Is because you never ever in your life meet someone who tells you, we've been building this software for 23 years. I literally don't think that exists. Like, nobody builds the same tool for 23 years. Like, that's just insane, right? What the hell are you doing for 20 years? It's like, it's absurd, right? Can I ask you out of context question? Of course, man. Please ask. If I know it and if I... Yeah, I mean, this was maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe 15. So I was, now I'm 37, so that was, maybe I was 22, 23 years old back then. And that was just funny. Okay, let's do a little bit of a chat with our beautiful AI while we are discussing questions. So, okay, so because I already know what I want to do, I've done this before, so let's just do it like this. So let's discuss a bit of a plan to use to convert Markdown into tip-tap JSON that we are already storing into our DB. Essentially, during our onboarding flow, we want to allow users to either select a folder with markdown files or drag n number of markdown files into a drop zone or something. Either way, let's first discuss the core, which is the system, and then we will discuss the rest. Man, I laugh all the time. Dude, I work as a leader, technical leader at my work, and you know, there's nothing in your life that can make you not laugh, right? I mean, there's like, oh, be serious, it's a work context. That makes no sense, man. There's certain times when we have to be serious, you know, in some serious meetings or whatever, but for the most part, man, you can still fuck around and achieve amazing results and do a good work. So if somebody, you know, tells you can't laugh, it's not professional, then that person has no soul. They're just dead inside, right? And by the way, just to get back a little bit to coding, you can see why AI is so good and so useful, right? And actually has not even related to code or writing code, but it's really good at asking good questions, right? And this is kind of oftentimes the hardest thing for human beings is asking the right questions at the right time. That is indeed a huge challenge, especially if you're cognitively overloaded, you just had a long day at work or whatever. So see how good these questions are. Like, where should Markdown tip JSON conversion happen? Because it's a logical question. Should we do it in the UI, or should we upload your files to the API and then do the conversion there? What should happen after we import them, right? Should they be set as published out of the box, or set as drafts, so user has to review maybe the conversion went wrong or whatever. So these are very logical questions, especially for someone who hasn't maybe done something like this before. It's so powerful to no worries, give me 2 seconds and then I'm reading it. All right, let me read the question. What do you think about staying on a sinking ship? My current company is on that. They may or may not be dead within 6 months if they'll go like this. The problem is I'm too new this IT world, and my CV only has 2-ish years of experience. I tried finding a new job by references, but even with it, it can't get experience. What should I do? The market is too cooked. Well, first and foremost, like obviously you're not gonna quit your job. You will, if so. I mean, I think you already know what you need to do, but I think all of us, myself included, oftentimes need validation. We need friends. We need an opinion. So thank you very much for asking, and I'll try to give you the most honest and most accurate opinion, as always, based on my own experience. So number one, golden rule: never quit your job, and obviously until you have an offer on the table. This is a golden rule. Right, ever. So of course, starting yesterday, you should be already working, looking and applying to companies, no matter how tough. So just, Cassie, my friend, good evening, thank you for coming. So no matter how tough the market is, it's tough for everybody. Hiring and recruiting is a game of chance. It's a statistical thing. Typically, when you get a job, you are a statistical error. So, because for every job where they hire one person, so you have one position, you have 300 people apply. So, whoever gets that is literally a statistical error. There's no correlation between quality there and or anything like that. So, if you have 100 candidates and you have to choose one, you're gonna choose it based on criteria that just objectively isn't objective, right? In simple words, you know, if you choose, if you have to choose between one person out of 5 or 2, then statistically, chances that you see a clear difference in quality are very clear almost. So what I'm trying to say here is, like, start applying already, and it's gonna be a very long sometimes journey, but it is long for everybody. And every single time you finish an interview, know 2 things. Number one, it's not personal, because you weren't hired. It has nothing to do, in most cases, with you. It has to do everything with, again, statistics. There's another 300 people. And second, every time when you do have an opportunity to talk to a company, even if you fail the interview or if you don't succeed, retroactively, or actually just afterwards, see how it went, write things down. So I'm sure you know this. And besides that, Craft, good evening. And besides that, there's really not much else to say. I mean, what you wrote about your company might or might not be true. I hope that that is true, and maybe you can ask around your bosses or whatever, whoever they are. But I would not maybe. I don't know. I mean, that is a tough. Is your company failing or not? I would say you need to be sure of that, right? And if you're not, I hope you have a manager to just in an informal way ask, hey, how are things, etc., right? But I would say, yeah, just you need to just keep applying already. If you're, yeah, maybe. What do you mean? January? I see. Okay, I mean that's maybe also a good one, but just don't do anything besides that, right? If your company, your startup is doomed to fail and you can't do much about it, then, you know, this is such a good plan. I mean, I'm just... The only thing that this is a great plan. I have... wait. Okay, very good. Yeah, just like with what is it called? Just like with RSS, we need to do some security. We can't just allow endless bulk imports, so we need to limit this. Additionally, how should we go about figuring out if the user is uploading just bunch of randomly generated markdown files, etc.? Yeah, let's just plan this because I really want to finish this and maybe merge it. Maybe the where is the one? This one, maybe the dev.to we can kind of do another time. So markdown files I think has way higher value because I would say that way more people have markdown files than this. I wonder if we should extend this with like should we extend this with markdown? Do we have to write a migration file inside migrations? And the main reason why I would want this is because I would want to be able to then query them by markdown and then just nuke them, a bunch of them, right? Why is my Postgres not loading anymore? I think I messed something up. I see. This stream is typically about that platform. So if you get a chance, please go sign up. Right now, I'm building just an importer, like a markdown to TipTap, so people who sign up during onboarding flow, they can go here and drag their markdown files, and then we convert them to TipTap data, and then blah blah blah, right? That's kind of what we're building at this and we're designing the feature in a plan mode with a AI, obviously, so we can kind of agree. I think we should strive to already use a background job for this, as this might put a lot of pressure on the API's CPU. So let's design this properly so we don't waste time. Measure 23 times, cut once. And yeah, so what we can actually do, because we're using BullMQ anyway, right? BullMQ has these what they're called well, I mean, in simple words, right? We don't want to we don't want to be we don't want to be doing this on main thread, right? We don't want to be converting bunch of articles, right? Say that you drag 57 different markdown files or 3,000 markdown files, right? We don't want to be doing this in a main thread. Essentially, when I said putting pressure, I meant making our main API that's basically right now serving everything else to be doing that, or we want to offset that to some other job, so something off the main thread, so it does it in the background, and then when it finishes it, this is, you could say, in a way, a concurrency, or using concurrency, using a specific type of concurrency for a specific type of problem, right? In simple words, we want to say, hey, there's this huge chunk of work that has to happen. Let's offload it to someone else instead of us doing it while we also have to do. Imagine you're a police officer on a street directing traffic, as you are doing this with your hands, but you also have to do push-ups and pull-ups at the same time, right? So this would be an analogy in this way. So instead of me needing to do push-ups and do the routing of traffic, right? You say, hey, you go and do this work. Leave me alone. I want to focus on all of these cars. There's a lot of these cars. I need to tell them where to go. So I don't want to be also doing, manual work here. So that is what we're talking about, right? So we want to offload the work of converting files and parsing them and stuff to something else. Of course, if this was like a massively huge platform with millions of users, we would have a microservice or set of microservices that would only be specialized for this, so right? Well, no, in this context, it's not a microservice, it's a background process, so it's a different process. It's still the same service, but it runs, it's a different process that it spawns, right? So JavaScript, right, has workers, both in the browser and Node.js, right? So you have service workers and stuff that you can delegate things to. So you could think about it almost as a microservice, but it's not really a microservice. Would be just another Node.js or Golang or C# or whatever API running, right? Just doing that. But we don't need that because we don't have that. For us to break this into microservices, we would need to have so much traffic. We would need to have users where we see, okay, and of course we would have to have multiple people working on this project, because microservices are more intended for code ownership between the teams than it is for performance, right? 100%. Again, I don't even want to talk about scale, right? That is absolutely absurd, because 99.9% of companies on this earth never reach a scale problem, especially today, because most of them are anyway running on GCP, AWS, Azure, where you click an a button that says enable auto scaling, and you don't even worry about it anymore. So, of course, Josh, of course. So scaling APIs and databases is not as hard as people think, right? Yes, Prince. Amen. Yes, that is one of my quotes. Andy, good evening, my friend. Absolutely. You wanna pray that one day you will hit these limitations, right? And also, I have a Kubernetes. I mean, for those of you who are new here, we also have I have an amazing home server, or I call it a mini data center here that can handle a lot of things. So I'm not worried about hosting and stuff. We have so much horsepower. We can do whatever you want, whatever we want. The Byte Engineering, good evening. How you doing, man? Okay, let's try executing this plan. Let's try executing this plan and see where it takes us. And then we need to, of course, as always, we need to do a lot of validation, a lot of review. But I think we kind of nailed it for a good part in the plan. I'm very good. Thank you very much, man. I'm very good. Been at work today, like most of you. I've been with my wife and kids. Yeah, typical day, I would say. Would you self-hosting the ISPs in Denmark normally give you a static IP? They do not. So I do not have a static IP, and I don't want one. So I have a dynamic DNS that I use, and I wrote a script on my MikroTik router. I don't know if I documented all of this stuff, but this is the guide that I wrote. But no, I don't have a static IP, and I actually don't want one. I have my router automatically, whenever a network interface on my router changes, I wrote a little script on the router that calls the Cloudflare API and updates the DNS record on Cloudflare. So the moment when my IP changes, that very moment is where I update the DNS. And that the DNS points to my reverse proxy, to my ingress controller, traffic at my Kubernetes. So even if there is a downtime, I would assume that downtime could be it does, yes, and that's what I use, yes. That is exactly what I'm using, yes. But still, regardless, DNS is only one problem. You still need something still needs to update your DNS on Cloudflare, right? So my Cloudflare needs to know the IP of my own network, right? And that is the IP that we update, right? So DNS is only one thing, but we also need, Cloudflare needs to know when my IP changes as well, right? Mima, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm actually not sure if... Are you sure about these versions and dependencies? Use the MCP to figure out the latest versions. Yeah, we have this contact 7. No, so essentially, I can show you later. Because there's some pains in both terms. I can show you. Let me just do this, and I can show you a little bit what I do. Actually, I might already just prepare for that. Give me a second. I'll just connect to my networking to my MikroTik switch and the router. Let me just move it here because I can't reveal some certain things. But give me one moment. Give me 1 second. Alrighty, so I just had to clean up some secrets so you don't see them. But this is the script that I have on my MikroTik router that, as you can see, gets the IP of my WAN interface and then proceeds basically to update the IP on the using the Cloudflare API, right? And then, as you can see here, at the end we say Cloudflare DDNS update command sent, right? So essentially, as you can see, what we do, we get the IP, we get the Cloudflare DNS name. So this script is the secret, and essentially this is the right. And this script runs on another event. So this script is part of an event that gets fired when an interface changes, right? So as soon as my WAN interface changes the IP, there's an event-driven, basically, almost like an event emitter that shoots an event, and then this script reacts to that event, right? So that's simply, yeah. Yeah, and I mean the biggest problem. So somebody asked, maybe you asked about the MikroTik's DNS. So the biggest problem, just note, this is why. So if you're wondering, Alex, why are you doing this? Why are you not just pointing like you said? Why don't you have a CNAME? That is because MikroTik's DNS. MikroTik's the DNS that you get as part of MikroTik is not very stable. So it's not something that they guarantee high uptime, right? So if you use it, you have to either have a backup DNS, right, and DDNS, or you do something like this. So I would be like, you know, for personal things, for personal like services that you want to access from the outside, yeah, it's good. But if you want to host production types of services, then you can't rely on that, right? Because every now and then it just goes offline randomly. Because, you know, MikroTik is an amazing company. I actually, fun fact, in my first job in my career was a MikroTik engineer and a Cisco engineer. Let me show you. I kind of wrote it all here, but I have this section here, why MikroTik, and you can see 15 years ago, this is the video of me installing them. 15 years ago exactly. So this is me creating a MikroTik a box. We used to install these MikroTik router boards on solitaries in towns. So this is kind of me there, and this is me in I had a long hair. This is my very first office. So this is 15 years ago. I had my own office, believe it or not. And this was So as you can see here, we had a bunch of this is my old YouTube channel. But this is type of the router boards that we would make. We would install these things in the tallest buildings in towns, and then we would distribute the wireless network to people who didn't have a cable internet, right? So I was basically managing these MikroTik devices. Of course, I'm not as good network engineer today as I was back then, because back then I did this full time. I forgot a lot of things, right? So if you ask me, can you set up OSPF now or something like that, I would be like, what the hell are you talking about? But that's why I love MikroTik, and that's why if you go here under the hardware section, I kind of, you know, I still use MikroTik, and I have a bunch of MikroTik equipment around. There's another MikroTik device here. Actually, you can't see it, but so I have a bunch of these things. I love them, and I still love hardware, of course. I actually made my own MikroTik router. But if you want, you can all read it here. I think it's a nice guide. Do you know Azure? I do not use Azure, if that's what you're asking. Do I know Azure? I mean, I know infrastructure pretty well, so I have no doubt that I would use, like, again, you should not be learning Azure, you should be learning the core concepts of infrastructure. So if you learn what an Nginx is, what a reverse proxy is, what bunch of these services do, what they are, what is infrastructure as code, etc., 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 then it doesn't really matter what type of cloud platform or bare metal you use. Just like with programming, if you focus on fundamental principles of programming, then it doesn't really matter what type of language or framework or library you use. It's all the same crap with different syntax, right? So I would say, do I know Azure? I mean, if I had to use that, I would know it very shortly, yes. I see no reason why not. It's just we call that ClickOps. So all of these platforms, all of the people who don't use infrastructure as code like Terraform and stuff, you would call that ClickOps. Basically, people clicking things, in some dashboard somewhere. Do you have any recommendations for developer books? I don't think you should be. I think if you want to read books, I think you should be reading books on leadership, on. I don't think you should be reading necessarily programming books. I think for the most part, honestly, that is massive waste of time. I know you're gonna find it very weird me saying this. The main reason why I say it's waste of time is because programming is a craft. Reading programming books is no different than reading books about tennis. Reading tennis books is not going to make you a tennis player, right? What's going to make you a tennis player is taking a racket and hitting a ball, right? So I would say, there are many books I would suggest people to read, but they're not programming books. If you want to learn programming, I would say build things and derive patterns out of the problems you encounter. And that is the best way to learn. But if you want really like, oh, okay, Alex, but you really need to tell me some books, then Pragmatic Programmer, Clean Code, these are probably good books to read, but they're not going to help you much. Because again, programming is a craft that requires physical, like literally someone sitting and writing things. That's how you learn, right? Reading things, yeah, they can inspire you, they can give you some ideas, but they're not going to make you any better programmer, right? To become a better programmer, you just have to build things and fail a lot, like with everything else, right? Are you getting married, Chica? That's amazing, man. That is amazing, man. Congrats. I think, Dimi, I think as I told you before, man, I think you're very talented, but your sense of focus doesn't exist. I think you're jumping on so many different things every 5 days, and I think your biggest enemy is the lack of focus. I think you will achieve a lot. I think you're a very smart kid and a smart guy, but I think that you need to focus a bit more. I think you're just jumping between so many things, and again, this is not necessarily bad. I think you will learn, you will get a lot of general knowledge, but that knowledge is going to be surface level in all ends. So it's fine. I have so much surface knowledge about so many things, but then I have some knowledge that's not surface. I have some knowledge that's actually very deep and very, I hate to use the word expert, but you could say professional, right? So I think before you jump on so many things, you want to ensure it and ask yourself, okay, what it is that I actually know really well so I can sell myself. And then you enhance that with a bunch of other things, right? But you first have to be really good at one thing before you get fine with many things, right? Because you will not get a job by being okay at many things. You're gonna get a job by being good at very specific thing or things, and then these other things, right? Of course, absolutely, because the thing is, it's easier, right? I mean, that is a part of procrastination, because once people hit limits in certain area, it's way easier to bullshit yourself and start something else than keep digging the hard part, right? So that is the thing. So it's not. I don't think it's just you. I think many people fall into that trap simply because, you know, it's you know, it's easy, right? Yeah, we'll need to review the living crap out of this, like, so much. Yeah, we'll need to review this a lot. We'll need to. Cedric, that's music to my ears. So Chubby, I would say, look, I'm a pragmatist, right? Every advice that I share has to contain a valuable thing in itself, right? So absolutely, I think us human beings, 99.9% of the knowledge we all have, myself included, is a surface level knowledge, right? So if somebody asks you, you know, we know these statements like, oh, white bread is not healthy. You can't really explain that, but you just don't. You've heard that somewhere, and you just believe it. So I would say that for all of us human beings, most of our knowledge is like that, and that's fine. We can't know everything. We only have an amount of limited time to learn, right? But when I give this advice, I speak from the perspective of always interest in a sense of job, right? When we talk about programming eventually, unless you're very young, it becomes your profession. And then you start asking questions, how can I sell myself over someone else, right? So I would say, from that perspective, I say becoming very good at something initially that you can sell yourself, and then enhancing yourself with amazing other things, absolutely is fine. But I would say knowing a tiny bit of everything, but knowing nothing to a certain level where you're valuable something, that is not good, right? Okay, guys, I'll answer the questions. Give me a moment, because this guy now is generating a bunch of this crap, and yeah, Chubby, I'm absolutely with you. I think yes, absolutely, Cedric. Please do. I mean, okay, this guy, the big shot. Hey, buddy, you good? Look at this one. Oh my God, my second favorite viewer. How dare you? How dare you coming now after all this time? Man, I missed seeing you, bro. I missed seeing you. Oh no, shit. Wait. Abort. Oops, what the hell did I do? I know, man. But also my streams, you know me, man, by now. I have no schedule and stuff, so it doesn't make it very very easy for you guys. Thank you very much, guys, for your follows. I hope you are learning something and having a good time. Yeah, I actually don't like that. It's... Oh, did you send it to me? Okay, looking at it now. 1 second. Cedric, I love it. Very good. I hopefully you have reused. I'm very honest. Hopefully you have reused the top component that I built with like filters and stuff. So hopefully you didn't build a brand new one. The only thing I dislike is, let me actually open it here. So the only thing that I dislike is the location. Well, actually, okay, two things that I have a comment on. First, I don't see the point of a username. So if there is one, sure, you get what I mean. Like you see, there's your name and then there's your username. If you find that that username has some purpose here, like when people come here, then fine. Location, I think, is useful, but I don't know, it just feels off with these icons. And note that I am a pixel perfect. Yeah, for sure. It's just I'm saying visually, I wish. Maybe just remove the username, leave the country. I don't see a purpose of username. I don't know. Location, maybe, yes, because it's like, hey, this guy's from the same country as I am, right? I get that. And by no means I'm saying remove it from data, right? But probably some people here will also have, so what do you guys think? I mean, what the rest of you think? When I see this inconsistency in like, when I see this inconsistency, you see how that kind of triggers my eyes immediately. That's my problem. Yeah, exactly. So, but I love it, man. I love it. Not much to say. That's my feedback. So you figure it out now. Okay, Chubby, very good point. Also, target SU, also a very good point. I agree. So, but my statement was rather a question, right? So, I mean, the way that you put it, I agree. Yeah. I'm new to your content. How are you using AI when working? Do you build features? Of course, I use AI every day for 4 years, and AI is the present and the future, so I use it as much as I can, and I run a team at work, and I incentivize my team and my teams to do it as well. So absolutely, every single day I use AI, and AI is the way I write code past year. I orchestrate, I design things, I review it, I guide it, I orchestrate it, I delegate, and then I fix the crap that it does. But do I use it? Oh, a lot. I use it a lot, and I use it because it's simply a logical thing to do. You cannot beat computer. You cannot beat a computer in a raw speed, right? So you could say text a minute. So if you know system design, if you're an experienced engineer, you absolutely should use AI, no question about that. But with the exception, of course, as you can see, we can't just use it. We will need to go now and review a bunch of this stuff and, ensure that it works. We need to test. So, of course, it's not that we are it's some sort of a fairy tale or whatever. It's not. It is just a tool, and the tool needs guidance like any other tool. So just like a hammer needs someone to hold it in their hand, this AI also is like a hammer. You need to hold it by hand and guide it. Otherwise, the results you're going to get out of it are going to be pretty bad. So, so I would say, as I always say, based on your input is directly related to your output. So if you have the knowledge, if you can prompt, if you can plan, if you can provide detailed guidelines, AI is going to do really well. And if you can't do that, then AI is not going to do really well, right? So if you're not non-technical person, using AI is going to be very painful. Because yes, you will generate some crappy login screen and some stuff, but at one point when things actually have to work, they have to work in production for users, they have to be fast and secure and many other things, then that's when things start failing a lot. Well, I mean, I would say that most of my code today is written by AI. There's absolutely no secret in that or shame. That is something that's amazing, and that's why, after 20 years in this industry, I'm more happy today than I was, because I can now focus on orchestrating it, executing my ideas way faster than before. So I would say that, what do I think about it? I think very good stuff about it, right? I think you should definitely do it. But again, you have to be very due diligent, and you need to be disciplined because as I said, depending how you use it, right? That is of course, absolutely. So again, just be careful not to, right? It's imperative that we understand, right, its limitations, that we understand that it's a tool, and as long as we understand that and we understand it really well. Do I have a job? Yes, of course I have a job, yes. Have I tried Gemini 3? I have tried Gemini 3 for programming, and it sucked really bad relative to some other models that I use. So, of course, have I tried it sufficiently enough to make an objective observation? No. Hence, my opinion should probably be discarded fully. I think it would be unfair to criticize something out of 2 days of use. But based on the 2 days that I gave it a chance, it was objectively, for me, worse than Sonnet 4. I don't really care much about these models, nor I follow them or anything like that, right? But what I've seen is that it was not as good as this. Now, is it bad? No. Can you make it work? Yes. But if we're to be very picky, then, yeah. Yeah, AI is a double-edged sword, right? And again, as long as we stay due diligent, as long as we stay engineers and not developers, as long as we understand our tools, their limitations, and benefit, like, for example, some of this stuff that it wrote here is really bad, right? And I already see that it's bad, and I already see that we're gonna have to change this. So I already see things that are just very bad. Like this whole code here is absolutely terrible, but that is fine, right? Because we want to get to a point of a feature that works and then refactor, clean up and stuff. So that is also fine, right? Because if I didn't have it now, it would have taken me maybe days to finish this. Just the mere manual, and when I say days, I also mean because of the stream, because what this tool enables me when I'm streaming is that I both get some work done and also talk to you guys, because you can see if you recap this whole stream, I don't think there was a 1 minute of break where I haven't been answering questions, right? So for like, what was it, 2 hours now, I've been constantly talking, right? And also coding. So the AI enables that, right? When you clean it up, do you clean it up manually or prompt more? I would say that I prompt I prompt as much as I can. And then once I see that the prompt no longer yields, so I think honestly you can prompt and get around 90%, 95% of. But again, it's very important to say, you need to have agentsmd file, you need to have, your code needs to be declarative enough. So again, AI is as good as your existing code base and as the rules that you have. So for example, if we take a look at agentsmd files, my whole ideation, my whole style, my own style is defined inside of this file. The way that I write code, where should it put things, how should it do, what to never do, what to always do, right? And I have this for every single project. But this file is also a dynamic type of thing. So once you implement some other system, you also need to extend this file. So of course, the accuracy of the model itself is very much relates to your existing quality of your code base. Because if your existing thing is built in a very systematic way, you followed some domain-driven design, etc., 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 AI is going to be amazing. But if your whole code base has been randomly generated by AI, meaning you went to Lovable and said build my website, I would be very careful about that, right? But again, that serves a different use case. That tool is made for non-technical people or technical people who want to do ideation, who want to do quick prototypes with their PM at work, their designer, right? So I think all of these tools are amazing and they have a place. But again, we need to be honest and we need to understand their limitations. And you will not generate a lovable application and sell it. That is just ridiculous, right? And it's absurd. I think that I spent maybe $500 this month on Cursor. I think if I don't pay for it, my company pays. Yeah, agent mode is terrible. Yes, agreed. But I think this month I've spent maybe $500 of Cursor, yeah. I mean, I use Cursor a lot, man. I use it at work. I mean, I use it to ship features. I use it to prototype. I use it for many things, right? So, so for a lot of things, man. $500 is ridiculously low amount. That's like what? 3 hours of developer time, right? And the fact that it saves hundreds of hours of time, that $500 is completely neglectable. It's meaningless to even mention, right? So $500 to someone who doesn't have a job or maybe lives in some worse place on earth sounds a lot, but I work as a tech lead. My salary is very, very high, and spending as a company $500 on me, you want to spend that. You want to beg me and say, Alex, please spend these credits, right? Because the amount of time you're gonna save by me using AI is insanely huge amount of time, right? So if I would calculate my hourly rate now, I don't know, I mean, what would that pay me today, right? I mean, I'm not saying that $500 isn't a lot of money to me. It is. I mean, if somebody gave me $500 today, why not? Fuck yeah, I would go and spend it on something. But I'm saying for a company, my company, we just raised $55 million like last month. So, we have a lot of money. And I know. $500 is a minimum wage here. I know. I mean, I originally come from Balkans, right? So I know that, and how to do. I don't use that thing. I don't use agent mode ever. So that's not how I use AI. I don't use agents like in that. So if you're referring to this agents thing here, I would never do that, right? So that is not assisted programming. That is the most terrible way to write software, right? So the way that I use AI, I use it only like this, and I monitor it, I guide it, I direct it, I fix it, I argue with it, I yell at it. But what I never do is like build feature for me and then I leave drinking coffee. So this I would never do. So these multi-agents, you know, you can put 4 agents to write the code at the same time. Is like, dude, that is insanely absurd. Like, who the hell is gonna review like 8,000 lines of code? Like, I mean, you really have to be brave to do that and say, I've built a tool that works. It's like, you really, really have to, right? That is absolutely absurd, man. Completely absurd. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I'm very, very impressed by people who are just not like, yeah, I don't know. I don't do that, man. I just responded to your question. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't use agent mode. I don't care about it. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, Chica. Yeah. That's a good one. I let my agent review it. Oh my God, man. God help that code, man. Jesus Christ. What a brave individual. I'm absolutely impressed. What an absolutely brave individual. Your whole code base is written by AI and then AI reviews it. Is like, why nobody thought about that, right? I wonder. Exactly. I don't know why no. Yeah, Josh, of course, my friend. So this stream, Ken, is about this, but right now I'm building an import, like a markdown. So I'm building this now. Basically a way for people who are signing up on Programmer Network platform to drag all of their markdown articles and then convert them into tip-tap.json articles, right? So let's say you wanna, I want to use Programmer Network to share my blogs and stuff. I don't want to use my own website anymore. You can come here and just drag all of your files. So we're building a event-based thing now. Well, actually, I'm just reviewing. Josh, give me 2 seconds. I'm with you. I just need to read this. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Yeah, this is pretty bad. It should have done the batch here. You should have used the .bulk from Sequelize, not a loop like that. Also, the code is super imperative. Let's fix that. I'm with you, Josh, in a second. I need to review this stuff that, AI wrote, because this is not good. This is not good. Valcock, yeah, it should, but that's what we're doing now. That's what AI did, not me, right? So it absolutely should, and we will catch these things now, right? So all of this stuff now that we're doing has been generated by AI, which is fine. I mean, it didn't fail by no means. I think it did well. It would be very unfair to say that it failed. I don't think it failed at all. So I would say, you know, we can't have super high expectations. I'm still grateful that this tool exists because it still helps a lot. And, you know, me now just finding these details and stuff like that, right? Come on, man. All right, so we parse the markdown, we extract article data. We'll actually get into these utils in a second. We validate the article, we'll see what validate. We spam check, okay. We check for the existing ones. Yeah, this is a little bit dangerous, you could say, because this could give false positives, right? Which, you know, we'll need to test manually, unfortunately, because it's just a human type of feature. Exactly, Chubby. I agree. I absolutely agree. I think AI, if AI fails, then it fails as much as people fail, right? We also can't forget that all of this data all of this AI we're using has been trained on data that's been written by humans. So you could say if it fails, if we want to use that crappy terminology, then you could say, well, then it failed because a lot of humans fail. And I've seen way worse code written by humans than I've seen by AI. So that's not even a comparison. Which one, Valcock? Which one is that? Who are you referring to? Just write his first name and I'll know. Wow, this is very good. Very declarative, I like that. Cool. So we create an editor instance, the TipTap editor instance. We enable the extension, we configure this GFM. I don't know what this is, we should probably read about it. Yeah, exactly. Headless Headhunter. Oh, thank you very much, man, for the raid. How do I do? What was the command? Shout out or something like that, right? Yes, exactly. There we go. React is psyop. Hey there, guys. I don't know what psyop means. What am I? There's this term for this. What was it? Zoomer? No, I don't know. But good evening, everybody. Okay, cool. Boomer, got it. I review their resumes and cleanse them a bad habit. Sounds good, man. Thank you. Thank you. Positive rating party. Nice. Okay, why is it doing this? Why is it manually casting? That's weird. Okay. Oh yeah, there's too many, man. I don't know. I mean, I never in my life categorized people in these brackets, so I know that became very popular past couple of years, right? Like people are put in these silly categories. I don't know. So I never learned the terminology, so I never know. Zoomer, boomer, what was it, millennial, and all of these. It's so hard to catch up. I think new ones are spawning all the time. So it's kind of, yeah. Okay, what we could generate with AI, what AI is really awesome for is like, can we unit test the living crap out of this? Gen Z, exactly. Literally, absolutely no idea what that means. No idea. You know, I don't use social media besides LinkedIn and Programmer Network, so, you know, I'm not part of these platforms. So I guess on these platforms, TikTok and these others, they use these terms, but I don't have these platforms, so that's why I'm like a caveman. Catalyst, thank you very much, buddy. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Okay, cool. Okay, let's keep reviewing this while we ask AI to write tests for this. And I don't know what are these useless comments. Why does it do this? We need to extend, or we need to tell it. Okay. So right now I'm working on when you sign up on Programmer Network. By the way, if you have a second, go do it. You can import your RSS feed. But now I'm also creating this markdown to TipTap, a converter to like a service, like an event-based thing that's gonna convert your articles. Like maybe you have a bunch of blog posts that you wrote in Markdown, and you wanna start using Programmer Network, so you wanna migrate your articles there. So now we're doing that, and now, you know, because a lot of this thing has been written now by AI, you know, we have to, of course, it's AI is amazing, but you know, without a programmer, AI is not so amazing. So we need to go ahead now and review this. I am 30, fuck, am I 36 or 37? I don't know. Shit, how old am I? Crap. Fuck, man, I don't know how old am I. 89. I think 36. I'm 36. Oof. Jesus Christ. So hard. Okay. Jesus. Okay. I mean, okay. I mean, it wrote these algorithms. I mean, my oldest kid is almost 7. My youngest is 3 months old, 4 months old. Okay, so this is not terrible, I would say. This is not terrible at all, I would say, at least. The code seems fine, and the logic seems fine. Let's run some tests. Snail, hey, pozdrav to you as well, man. How you doing? All right, so these are the tests, okay? Mm-hmm. $23. Yeah, that's a nice age, man. Did I try anti-gravity? Yeah, I did. I did try it a bit. Actually, I think I will use that editor just for the free credits that it gives often. Just for like a global search and replace types of tasks. Like, you know, you need to do massive amount of rework of imports or something else. But, I mean, they're all this. I mean, they're very similar, man. I mean, I don't change tooling and stuff much. Because, I mean, often, but it has some nice features, right? but it has this browser type of thing in there that's pretty awesome. So that I like a lot. Okay, so I guess there's a bunch of these tests that are now, so these things are now throwing warnings. So we'll just need to tell it, yeah, let's make sure they're passed, and then we're just gonna tell it, hey, I mean, you know, these massive companies are burning billions of dollars in AI, right? So once all of these data centers are built and et cetera, I mean, we can expect that the price of these services to go so drastically down that it's more or less going to be free, right? So I mean, I think people need to understand that we are at the beginning of AI wave. Like, this is literally the beginning still, right? So I would say that in time, as with everything else, like as I told to many of you, make sure to read the book called the Coming Wave from Mustafa Suleyman. He's an co-founder of DeepMind, and he now works as a CEO of Microsoft AI. He wrote a book called The Coming Wave. It's a very good book, I would say, that everybody today should read. And he speaks about all the waves, technological waves we went through as a society. For example, what was it? I can't remember now. My brain shifted. But anyway, read the book. Okay, so that's good. I mean, you could say it tested a lot of different yeah, but yeah, I'm not so sure about this, man. Yeah, we'll need to do a bit more. Nah, dude. Please do not ever never ever use any, even in tests. No, I mean, sure, your opinion is as valid as mine, or invalid as mine. Like, we are all talking out of our buttholes, of course, and that's normal. The whole world is doing that, but I don't think things will go down. And the main reason is that my argument is based mostly on historical facts, right? If you look at the price of every single innovation on the planet Earth in the previous waves, from internet to mobile phones to computers to microchips, etc., you would probably agree with me. You know, a single capacitor not many decades ago would cost hundreds of dollars. Today you get 50 boxes of capacitors for $10, right? So, because that's really the only thing we can do. Like, our assumptions have to be based at least on something, right? And I think history very often, not always of course, but history very often is a good indicator of the future, right? So again, if you look at any other places, from car manufacturing to internet to all previous waves, we can derive certain behavior today. And all of the previous waves were as equally expensive. You know, a car and a mobile phone and a computer. You know, when computers were released, they costed like a fortune, right? Today, this is a computer, you know, like this, the phone, your watch, right? So we can't underestimate the future, right? When we discuss these things, the past when we discuss these things, right? I would say that's at least my reasoning. Is it correct? I would agree that time will really tell. I agree. My beliefs exactly are like that, and I think that if you look at any advancement in history of humankind, just look manufacturing. For example, there's a really good book that I would suggest you to. It's called Capitalism by Andy Fisher, I believe. And when you look at how capitalism started, then what UK did, England did, how workers worked, how prices dropped, how factories failed due to competition and stuff, right? It just all leads to a fundamentally, I'm sorry, this is a bit boring, and I get it, but I just need to generate tests for this. It's very crucial, right? And it's so cheap to generate these tests. Like, if I had to write these 1,000 lines of tests manually, that would have taken 3 days, right? So, I would say never underestimate the progress of technology. I would say that technology is a fascinating thing, and when human beings get fascinated with optimizing things, we usually succeed. And again, just look at yeah. Thank you guys for your follows. I appreciate it. I don't think we're screwed, man. I mean, again, it's all about one's perception, right? I think the biggest problem, maybe, at least knowing some of you here, is most of you here use social media. You use these TikToks, you use Facebook, you use Instagram and stuff. So a lot of you are exposed to a bunch of this doomsayers bullshit, right? I mean, this fucking planet is killing itself every 3 days, right? I don't think that things are like that, man. Just work and be smart, form a family, surround yourself by people that love you, focus on the family, on yourself, and I mean, dude, like we're doing fine. We're not gonna obsolete ourselves tomorrow out of jobs. We're not going to be hungry. We're not going to kill each other, right? This is what media sells just as much as programming content creators sell shit crap about certain language. Oh, let's shit now today on this language and that. So this entire industry of media can be aggregated and summarized into that people just feed off of bullshit, right? Off of things like negativity and stuff like that. So we're not gonna obsolete ourselves. We're not gonna die from hunger or anything like that, right? It's just that type of content sells really well, and people like to consume it. But if you try not to consume it, I promise you, if you remove these shitty, crappy social platforms that that talk all of these things every day, then you'll be fine, man. Focus on forming a family if you haven't already and stuff like that, and you're gonna be fine, man. And even if you knew the fundamental logical philosophical question is and always has been, what would you do even if you knew the future? Listen, let's imagine I know the future and I tell you now the future. What the hell would you do? And why would you do it then, and why are you not doing it now? So it's like people who are driven, people who are organized, people who are motivated, they're already doing things. They're not waiting to foresee the future and then they become motivated. So as the humanity is, some people have been successful always, some people weren't. Whatever success means, that has to be defined. And that's just how it is, right? So I mean, focus on yourself and build yourself up every day. And that's it. That's really all you can do. What the future brings, who the fuck knows? You can get cancer tomorrow and die. A car can hit you. who the hell knows, right? You get the best out of it simply by focusing on yourself and not get carried too much by this bullshit, right? Because a bunch of it is just a bunch of crap, right? Okay, what happened there? What? No, man, but it is like that, right? I mean, nothing that I'm saying is mind-blowing in any way. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just logic. I mean, I think it's common sense, right? It's really all about just common sense. You can't focus on things you can't focus on. It's like you can't know the future. Hence, trying to right? I will use 8 agents tomorrow. I'm with you, man. I support you. I would say use as many as you can. I mean, the problem isn't the power, but the massive cost of GPUs since the single... Yeah, but I think listen, Mert, I think you're not wrong, right? But I think your focus is wrong, right? Again, every single generation throughout human history has had the same skepticism about everything. When a mobile phone came out, it was this big, literally. Like, I remember, it was like my father had it. He had like Siemens, whatever, something. It was literally bigger than the brick. And people were saying the same stuff there, like, oh, these mobile phones are gonna suck. Nobody's gonna buy that. Who's gonna spend 3,000 Deutschmarks on a phone, right? So what you're saying is nothing new, right? Right? It's people have been saying that type of stuff forever. So you know, so your skepticism is usually comes out of either fear or like all of us have, like I have it myself, or something else. But it doesn't really matter, right? These are just technical things that will be solved in time. Yeah, but I don't think there's correlation between these things, right? With world wars and stuff like that, right? I would say that, yeah, wars have been part of this world since dawn of time, right? And there's no correlation between anything in wars, right? We're simply a species that functions through conflict, and that doesn't need any explanation correlation, right? I would say that wars are the most natural state of humankind. The most natural state of humankind. We never lived throughout our history for one day without having a war somewhere, right? Literally. A single place. So I don't find wars in any way something mind-blowing, right? We like to kill each other, and some people like to live better than the others, right? So yeah, I mean, Chubby, remember what Bill Gates said? Bill Gates said that in the 80s that computers have reached their limits. The RAM is never going to be higher than 1 megabyte or something like that, right? That's what Bill Gates said. Of course, if you don't believe me, go and check it out, right? That's literally what he said. I mean, when you look at, for example, United States of America, that country has been out of war for only 22 years of their whole existence. So the country exists for like 200, let's say 60 years or something like that. It's been out of war officially for 20 years. Right? So I mean, what are we talking about? So the war is literally rooted in our existence. So I don't find that in any way, shape or form to be weird, right? Yeah, check it out. I mean, again, I don't expect you to trust me. Go and what? Yeah, that's just how it is, man. So I would not Man, Burek would be amazing, dude. Ah, man, shut up, dude. I haven't been to the Balkans in like more than a year now, and man, I miss the Burek. Ah, dude. Oh man, so many questions. What are your thoughts on quantum computers? I think so. My biggest fear for humanity, as Mustafa Suleiman describes in his book The Coming Wave, is that technology has compound effect, right? And this is the biggest fear. So this is kind of one thing that a lot of people misunderstand about technology and progress. We can never ever, especially today, only look at one metric of progress and progress of only one thing. So somebody just asked about quantum computers, right? So this is my answer to that. I think if this thing actually gets to a point of being useful in a useful way, and then this thing gets combined with AI, right? So for example, these two, that's going to be very scary. So quantum computers, I'm not a physicist, I'm not a mathematician, so I have a friend, Yanis, at work, who is way better than me at this, so he knows a lot more things about this than I do, and he has more interest. But I would say as a normal human being, not as a scientist of any kind, that breakthroughs in quantum computers, computing, AI and stuff is gonna have a compound effect, right? And we don't know the outcome of this compound effect, right? Nobody knows. So this is why predicting technological advancements is so hard, because you can't only follow the progress of one thing. You have to follow progress of many things at once. And then how can they complement each other? At one point in time, these technologies can in no time, we might come to a realization as humankind that we can compound them so much that we get results that are unimaginable. So that's why it's very hard to predict where this AI or anything else is going to go, because if other things advance together with AI, like hardware and computation, building even smaller microchips, etc., then they will all boost each other, right? So that is the hard part about predictions, is that you have to follow the progress of several things at once in order to be able to understand where things are going, right? The music that I'm listening, I download I download music. This is called, wait, what are we listening now? Flow State. This is called Flow State. Chill Step Synthwave for Focus. How can I copy this crap? Yeah, but this is a Flow State dash Chill Step. Exactly. But yeah. Again, I'm just a regular random dude on the internet sharing my opinion, so that is just how I see it. What the hell do I know? What the hell anyone knows, right? We have far more rich and successful people than us. They have absolutely zero idea what's happening, right? So what the hell do we know? Probably nothing, right? We can all just make predictions. The problem with predictions is they're always grounded in personal feelings, personal fears, personal expectations. And asking a programmer about AI, you will always get a defensive response because programmers are scared about it. Therefore, we often wish that things are a bit different, right, when they are not. So I downloaded it from YouTube. I'm using What was it? Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it's here. Maybe my bash RC. Yeah, I think it's here. Huh. Interesting. Okay. What? Oh. Yes, here it is. Here it is. So so I use this YouTube D. Let me give it to you. I can just yank this, right? Huh. Give me a second. Let me just yank this for you. Big blaster, that's a good one, man. I do think I think I do. I think I do if we go here. Yeah. Alrighty, so let's try to run these migrations. So for some reason, of course, man, my pleasure. Actually, is this legal whatsoever? It's unclear. So let me tell you a little story. So this YouTube DLP has been banned, and then apparently they unbanned it because they proved that the tool actually is not illegal. So they used to. You can see this repository has 136,000 stars. So it has been banned before, and then they unbanned it because apparently they went with into legal battle, and they proved that in fact it is not illegal. So, but I sent you my bash, so you can see I download YouTube videos like this, and then MP3s like this. So yeah. So you can just create a bash alias like this, and you literally say DL MP3, and then you paste the URL here, and it downloads it, right? And as you saw from my bash alias here, you will probably want to, like you wanna. This is where I download it, right? You know. To be very honest with you, I have no idea. But I literally built, and I'm not using it anymore. When did you transition to Linux? No, I mean, I'm an all operating system. This is still Windows. All of I never used Windows to develop. I'm still on Windows, Big Blaster. It's just this microphone, these lights, this teleprompter, most of this software doesn't work properly on Linux. So my streaming machine, this is my streaming machine. This is Windows Linux subsystem. But for my work, I use MacBook. I have a M4, So this is my, I don't know if I can show it here, but this is my M4 or whatever the latest one is. My company buys it, and then this there is my Linux laptop right here. This one here. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe mine is M5. I got a new one a couple of months ago, or maybe not. I don't care. They're all the same crap. I think it's running Ubuntu. This computer is running Ubuntu. Yeah. Okay, let's try to finish this, fellas. So a lot of code has been written, but my migrations don't actually work. So let me try that again. What? Oh. So let's see, why is this farting out? Very, very strange. Don't like it, honestly. Ah, this why, right? Yes, there we go. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. Let's take a look at the tables. Let's take a look at the new tables. So which tables have we created? Let's refresh this. What did we actually create? I have no idea. We migrated what? Markdown import log. Create Markdown, do we... Oh, here it is. Markdown import log. Okay, did we really need a table for that? I mean, okay, sure. Sure, and then let's take a look at the article table. We've kind of done the migration there. Article, where are you? I forgot alphabet in like 2 seconds. Okay. It is. I mean, I have everything centralized in VS Code. I used to use tools 2 decades ago that would do this, so I'm still very old-fashioned in so many ways. That's why I also have my sidebar to the right, because I used to use when I wrote C++ when I was younger, I used to write it in dev C++, code blocks, and Visual Studio, and a bunch of other things, right? So I'm kind of used to some of these very old layouts. Yeah, that is correct. How do I... So if we take a look at... How can I actually reference to that? Yeah, that's maybe the procedures, triggers, functions, procedures, views. Okay, never mind. It's okay. All right, so that's good. So that all worked. Beautiful. So, I mean, technically now, if we run the linter again... It doesn't seem that we have any errors left, I think. I'm not sure. Let's see. So linter is fine. The only weird thing here is if I run the tests, though, I have a feeling that this... yeah, that our regex is... Yeah, this is not all tests. URL utils. Give me 2 seconds. So if we take a look at the new stuff that we've built, we have markdown utils, we have the test. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah, so this is the problem. Well, screw you. Can we do this? All right, now it's fine. Okay. Cool. Great. I would still kind of want to... I mean, I will not merge this tonight. No chance. I still need to do a lot of validation, improve some stuff. Why are you manually casting stuff? That sucks ass. Why not do something like this? It's beyond me, but okay. It just doesn't get it. This is, yeah. Elemental Magic's card game. Hey, man. I'm just imagining a world where we would use these nerd names in real life. It's like, good morning, Elemental Magic Cards Game. You meet a neighbor in the morning on the stairway, and it's like, good morning, Elemental Magic Cards Game. And he's like, good morning, Rabbit69. Yeah, maybe. It works like that in prison. That's a good one. I'm originally from Balkans, from Serbia, Bosnia region, but I've been living away from there for many years. So I've been in Sweden and then in Denmark. So I've been in Scandinavia for maybe like 15, 16 years. Which Balkan country? I mean, you're asking questions that shed blood in this chat, man. So let's not do that. You know how full of love we are there. Music. Yeah, it does, my friend, it does. That's a good one, Chica, yeah. That is, search for that on YouTube. Search for that on YouTube. I mean, I think Balkans is often getting a little bit too much of crap, right? I mean, when you look at some other countries and what they've done to this planet, man, us people from the Balkans, we are like the most kind people on earth. When you look at the endless wars and other things that are happening elsewhere, right? I think it's just, oftentimes I think we are maybe in center of attention mostly because, because we are from Central Europe, right? So you get what I mean. So because we're so central, so that's why. But when you look at the rest of the world, it's like, oof, we are like butterflies. Ah, you're from the Balkans as well. Nice, man. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of memes, me and my friends all over the world. We always joke about the US, them bringing democracy to everyone's doors. So now there's apparently they're gonna invade Venezuela. And then we were kidding a couple of days ago with my philosopher friends at work how Venezuela needs some democracy. But not Venezuela, it's the oil in Venezuela that needs some democracy. Did you try lexical editor? Yeah, I have, and it's pretty bad, yeah. I mean, depending where in the Balkans. I mean, when you look at the map, right? So, for example, when you look at Serbia, right? Right, you see where Serbia is, right? So, are we central? No, but you can say, I mean, we are part of Europe, right? So we're very Europe, if you may, right? Same goes with Croatia, same goes with Romania and other countries, right? So I'm saying it's just because we had war in this region, it's way more interesting than looking at these guys here killing each other every day, right? I mean, these guys are still slaughtering each other every day, chopping off heads and whatever. We're like, who cares, right? But when shit is happening here, and now it's happening in this region here, then it's like, yeah, right. Yeah, Slovenia, Slovenia is an exception, of course. Slovenia. No, but I mean, when I say in the center, Cassie Dev, I don't necessarily mean like necessarily just geographically in the center. I more mean like when you look at Serbia and Bosnia and Croatia, and when you look at when you look at it this way, right? So when you look at this line, if we would draw the line like here, right? So if we would take a screenshot of this crap. Give me a second. So if we would take this line here, right? So if we would do the line like this, right? This used to be called here. I don't know if you read that in history, right? You could say these countries together, Croatia. I don't know about Slovenia. I'm not sure, but Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, well, Kosovo used to be, was part of Serbia. North Macedonia still is by law, at least in Serbia. Bulgaria, Romania, right? All of these countries together used to work together in something called Order of the Dragon. Yugoslavia, exactly. So the Order of the Dragon used to be a combination of all of the Balkan nations fighting whom? You can imagine these guys here, right? So we were basically the front lines of Turks not conquering Western Europe and stuff like that, right? So that's why our history is so bloody, right? You know, so during the Kingdom of Serbia, right, there were so many battles against of course, the Greeks included, right? But yeah, these guys, you know, were conquering the world, right? I mean, Turkish Empire was very strong, right? So they would come here to us. Of course, Serbia, Bosnia, this whole region, we used to be under Turks for 300 years. So they did conquer us, right? But the point being is, this region has been fundamental historically for all of the rest of the countries, including Germany and stuff, because we shed so much of our own blood for these guys not to just go over and then, right? And then we were also occupied by these guys here, Hungarians and stuff, so etc. etc. But it's a very terrible history. This whole region is just a failure after failure of history, and you could even say that the biggest sin of all of these nations here is geographical position, which absolutely sucks, right? So same goes with Ukraine, right? Same goes with all of these countries. Their biggest sin is that they're just at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? I mean, I live now in right. So I used to live in Sweden, you know. Now I live in Denmark. Like, look at this location, man. Who cares? Like, I mean, look at this location, dude. Who the hell even goes here? I mean, you know, like, who even comes here, right? You don't even ever, if there's like nothing on this planet to do, like, you never pass here. Go where? Into the North Sea? Like, into Iceland? Like, what? But if you live here in this region, oof, you know, you are, right? Do I have markers? What is this? Oh, this is the places where I went recently, I think. Yeah, I actually went here, I think. This is where I am now. Shit. So you see, this is where I live now. Wow, this is so awesome. How the hell is it following my location already? Crap. Okay. Yeah? Why is it showing me on the street, bro? No, that's not true. What? That's not where I am. No, but this is not my location. This is my location. So this is where I am. Yeah, this is my building. Yeah, this is my building. This is my balcony right here. This is my apartment, 5th floor, right here. So I don't know why is it showing that. So this is where I am. Right here. Okay. I mean, who cares, bro? I'm from the Balkans. You know, I'm not afraid of anything. So... Okay, cool. What an interesting discussion. I have no doubts that people would avoid me by every possible. Okay, let's try this now. How professionally I switch subject is absolutely incredible. Sometimes I really surprise myself. Oh crap, man, wait, didn't I have like my own website? Wait, didn't I have like my own Alexander XYZ? You know, like my old website. This is my old blog. So let's try that. Yeah, I do have that. Alexander XYZ. Beautiful. Beautiful. 8 years ago, man. Time goes by so fast. I don't even remember this repository. This is Jekyll, right? Yeah, this is Jekyll. This is Ruby on Rails. Posts. Drafts. I think I probably had a bunch of drafts. Jesus Christ. A lot of drafts. Closures, guitar wiring, installing Google Backpack on Windows 10. Okay, let me staying true to patterns we know. Okay. Okay, well I guess I tried writing something here. Okay, cool. Let's grab this one. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna save this bad boy. I'm gonna save it to desktop or something like that. I'm gonna call it markdown example.md. Markdown example md. That's the French word. Exemple. No, it's not. I just invented that, by the way. I know that sometimes people trust me too much. I literally just invented that. Okay, let's drag this exemplar and let's see if it files. Okay, 1 second chat, import, and it failed. Beautiful. Invalid file only md. Yeah, what? But isn't this exemplar markdown file? Whew, it is a markdown file. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Exemplar. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's save this as something else. Save as markdown exemplar. Yeah. Okay. Dot markdown. All right. Cool. Exemplar. No. So the format is. Let me just read the question. Alex, you're an experienced tech lead, so I'm working in an engineering company. We're not a software or SaaS company, but we have around 300 devs working. Wow, that's insane. And the company in the digital DPT has selected mainly C# plus Angular. Others languages are still allowed. So I've been working with these two for some time, and I like it a lot. Do you think it's a combination that will last for some years? Should I start thinking? No, I think .NET. So Valcock, I think .NET is amazing. I think that's a very good. Thing to keep using for sure. Angular is very natural front end to be picked in that context. Angular is also maintained by Microsoft team, and TypeScript is also built on at Microsoft as well. You know, C# obviously, .NET is built at Microsoft, so it very goes really well with that ecosystem. So I think Angular is typical for these types of enterprise grade companies or self-proclaimed sometimes. Yeah, well, Angular is built by Google indeed, but Angular works. So Angular team, where Igor Minar, who created Angular, used to work before, they very closely work with Microsoft. So Angular team and Microsoft TypeScript team, they work very closely together. So they're actually very close. How do I know? Well, I went to .js conference in Paris a couple of years ago, so I spoke to these guys and I asked them. So they work very closely together. So short answer, Valcock. Yeah, that's a very good stack, and I think it has a very good value. So I think that's my pleasure, man. I really like C#. I think and the whole .NET stuff is pretty cool. JavaScript has taken a lot of ideas from C#, like a lot of class-based stuff has been inherited from there. Bunch of features. Cassie, man, I love you. Thank you very much for coming. It's been a long time since we spoke and stuff like that. Thank you for being here as always, my dude. C# took from Java, or is it the other way around? I don't know much Java, to be very frank with you. I'm not very competent there, or to say I'm very incompetent in Java. That language never attracted me in any ways. Simply personal reasons, nothing to say negative. Some things you like naturally, some you don't. But I would say, I don't know, maybe. Haskell is a beautiful language. I wrote some Haskell as well. Yeah, man, Cassie, sure, bro. I would love that. Absolutely. Anytime, and we have a coffee over Discord sometimes. Just chill out for 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. You know, both of us have kids, so you know how it is sometimes. Time is just not there. Added a prop to look. Yeah, I think you can't commit the front end because we need to first deploy. So open a PR. I think you can't deploy because you're getting TypeScript errors locally, right? Speak soon, my friend. Have a good night, man. Cedric, you would need to, I think it's just a type mismatch now. Okay, but anyway, let's see why this is happening, because this is kind of false positive here. Invalid file name match, MD markdown, or okay, let's debug this together. Okay. Oh wow, shit, did I? Yeah, I messed that up, sorry. I absolutely messed that up. Files. So let's just print the files. My bad. Ah, no, that's not what I wanted. Try again. Import. So it is a file name is markdown and MD, okay. So files is an array, sure. I'm with you, Cedric, in 2 seconds. Give me a second. So we have files dot filter. So we run the, yes, that's correct. And then for each file, we have a file name, yes. I think this is the part that fails. Or no, actually it's not. Okay, so that's actually correct. So why is it failing? Okay, great. Okay, so that is okay. So import job queued successfully, processing one file. Estimated processing usually takes 1-2 minutes. Check details below. Validation summary must not exceed 250 characters. At last, one tag is required. Okay, cool. So I mean, you can see it kind of almost works, ignoring the shitty UI and stuff. Who cares? So this is good feedback, I would say. The only thing that you could say is a little bit blocking is that we can't expect a user, because this is something that might take time. We can't wait for them to look at this view until it happens. But I would say at this point, seeing these errors, that Huh. Thank you very much, everybody, for your follows. Maybe we would need to jump on a call, Cedric. Properties clearable does not exist. And is clearable something that you've added? Is that the one? Because just push a PR for just push a PR for that change, and I'll deploy it now, and then you can install the new version locally. No, Louis GUI, I mean. Louis GUI you have to be able to push, not the front end. If you have extended our core library, we need to deploy that, right? Because that is the issue you're having. So this is what we want to print, and this is also what we want to print, right? So let's refresh this. Try that again. Ah, shit. How's the project going, Mystical? Good evening. Good, man. Good. I mean, as always, you know, when there's time, we do it, and pretty good, man. Like, what is to say? I guess, as I always say, I guess it's progressing, right? Every now and then. So good, man. Good. Yeah. I did everything on myself, on my own. Yes. I mean, it's I built this whole UI library around Programmer Network. Yes. Summary must not exceed 250 characters. Okay, I mean that makes total sense. It's just that's also stupid, right? So you could say that this is pretty bad. Yeah, we can't expect people to do this, right? So at least one tag required whatsoever. That's a bit weird, right? Because we have this markdown example thing. So we have categories here, okay. So actually, if we get over here, I suppose, because when we, so we're gonna parse the front matter somewhere, parse markdown file, right? Yes, so we're gonna have front matter here. So we're gonna get that parse thing, then we're gonna extract article data. Sure. And actually, you can see that we could ask technically another thing, and then we can clean this up. But I think it would be, we say if categories right? And then we can also say tags here, right? Because I know that the markdown file we have now has categories here, right? So let's try running this again just to see if it picks that up from the front matter. That's what we're trying to do, at least. So we do this again, we import. Okay, good. No, it's not good. At least one tag is required. Okay, shit, that sucks. Okay, let's take a look at the logs. Tags are empty. Okay, so I suppose yeah, so this is in fact correct. Yeah, so that is correct. Oh, Give me 1 second. Where is this thing? Yeah, so actually what I did here is kind of wrong, right? I think we need to do something like this as well. I mean, okay, actually, you know what? I'm kind of doing it in reverse. Let's do it like this. So I'm gonna open this thing and I'm just gonna switch this to tags instead, right? I think that's fair. So we make that tags, and I would expect now this to be fine. So let's go and accept the rules, markdown file, try uploading it, import. Maybe we need to, maybe the API was restarting when we tried. What happened there? Is it I think it's our rate limiting, right? Too many requests, daily markdown import limit reached. Okay, let's clean that from the database somewhere. I guess we have this new table now. Where is it? Yeah, exactly. So let's maybe nuke this and let's try again. Import, yes. Okay, great. So that's very good, very good. Okay, alrighty. So I think for this error we need to be a bit careful here, because also summary is, let's take a look at that. Summary. Extract article data, I guess this is where we want to go. Summary. Yeah, so if there's no summary, we're saying extract the first 250 characters. So yeah, so this technically isn't working, right? So I would say, let's talk to the AI. Considering the error, that logic must not be extracting the summary properly. Yeah, just do this first. It's just until you kind of get the feel of the tooling, Cedric. You can ask any question, man. If it's too annoying, I will of course tell you that it's annoying, but don't worry, man. Of course you can ask it, absolutely. That's very good to hear, man. I need to try it out more on the stream. I promise I will. We'll try it together in this stream, maybe over the weekend now. Okay, successful. Path to software quality reacting to accumulated knowledge. Okay. Wow, okay. I didn't expect this to succeed, to be honest, all right? Did you intentionally use an auto increment for records like user IDs over using ID? Did you actually use? I didn't use any auto increment. We have more than 2,500 users that signed up. If you go to community, you can find all these users here. They're all real people, right? So if you're referring to user IDs or whatever, no, they're real people. We have, I believe, I don't know how many users, but all of these are people, right? So I didn't do any auto increments. And when I started this platform, it was just a random coincidence that I actually wished that it was UIDs. But doing a migration now would be very painful, right? So why would I auto increment? That makes absolutely no sense. George, good evening. Thank you for coming, man. Okay, so this is great. Let's go to a database now. Let's go to user. Let me just kind of bypass this crap. Actually, you know what? Let's just go to continue. No, never mind. Let's just go here. Let's say whatever. So if I now go to my dashboard, articles. Okay, wow, it worked, man. What? Failed to load article data, okay. That's a bit weird, let's see why. Oh, actually, no, even better. Let's take a look at it in the database, right? What? Article. Where? Source. Was it source? Yeah. Then you are. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't think I would. I don't think that anyone ever has consciously increased the like IDs. I don't see what. I don't. I just can't. No. Please, man, ask whatever you want. That's not. It's just I can't think of why someone would ever do that. That makes absolutely no sense. Did I type 2? Did I? No, but I think, I don't know if I type 2 equals, but I don't think that's the problem. I think we need, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Is it source though? Wait, articles. I did, okay, thank you. But I'm not sure. It is source, okay, wow. All right, let's see. Maybe I did right. I mean, I trust you. If you're saying that, then. What was it? Markdown? Okay, here it is. Wow, it actually did it. It actually did it. Okay, so why is it farting out? What does it explode with? Oh, article not found. Oh, I see. Wow. Is it because... Ah, it's missing slug. It's missing a slug, I think, right? No, it's not missing a slug, okay? Wow. Link, content, likes, dislikes, source. Or maybe... Okay, let's go to articles. Controller. Router. Get article by slug, right? Yeah. So Valcog, in my experience, and that is a sad reality of the world, I personally don't do that just due to lack of time. I think it's very inhumane almost, right? Because that is just how it is, but should one do it? Absolutely. It's a purely capitalistic decision. I'll just always be honest, right? So I would say that most companies don't target on that type of group of people because they're so very few. And is that politically correct or on a human level correct? Of course not. But that's just how it is. And I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. I think that, companies focus on profits, right? And, maintaining the full scope of accessibility and stuff is very time consuming. And it just doesn't yield sufficient like financial results for companies to be incentivized to do that. That is just the unfortunate truth about it. Will someone be judged if it doesn't have it in their projects? I don't think you will be judged. I think 95% of websites on planet don't provide the level of accessibility that would actually help people with disabilities. So I would say it's very rare that platforms do support this. I don't think you're going to be judged, but there are certain jobs that require this. So you need to know area tags. You just simply would need to know about this, right? Because accessibility is a lot of things. It's a very, very broad type of thing because there's people with, right? But I would say that, unfortunately, most of the websites do not do a good job in that sense. And I think this thing could be problematic. I think there's like a potentially, let's see. Oh, I see. I'm not using UF framework. I built my own, right? So it's an open source library that I built. You can actually see the components here. This is the storybook, and you can also go to Programming Network Organization here. So I'm not using any library. I built my own. Just created a PR. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Just need. What the fuck is this, bro? This stream is about building that platform. Now I'm building the Markdown to tip-tap JSON converter, basically. So when you sign up to Programming Network, that you're able to essentially import your Markdown articles, let's say, into our own platform. So maybe you have a shitty blog that nobody ever visits, and maybe you want to say, oh, actually, I want to move to Programming Network, and keep and write there and share my knowledge there and stuff. So I'm just trying to make that pain go away, meaning that you can just drag a folder of your markdown files, and we just take care of the rest. Now we just need a cache instance of a cache constructor here, just so we can kind of, when we do import the articles, we need to actually cache them. Even though I don't think this error has anything to do with this. So I don't know why is this guy suggesting that, though. So I would say I don't think that's gonna, because I'm not caching articles. So can you be a bit more specific? Because I would say that website is fully responsive. So if you can be more specific, I would appreciate that. Alrighty, let's see. I just opened it on my Mac 13 and I can't see all the inputs for the sign up. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the sad tragedy of things. You're also probably not using like a highest possible resolution in your Mac. If you're using a standard 13-inch Mac, which is very rare, I would expect that to happen, yes. So does the website support every possible permutation of resolutions and screens? No, that's never going to happen. But it's good to know that it doesn't look great in 13-inch. I would actually have expected it. I wouldn't have expected that, to be honest. Oh shit, you opened the PR. Give me a second, let me take a look at that. Yale, right? Yes. PRs, yes. Okay, cool, let's review it. Are you referring to the importer is not yet done? I don't think I'm gonna finish it today. All right, looks good. Looks good. Let's wait for the CI to pass, and then we're gonna merge it and deploy it, Cedric. Amazing work, man. Thank you. Let me see what's actually happening here. Let's see if there's any linting issues. Beautiful. Very good, very good. Let's actually go to database again. Let's go to database again. Let's go to articles. Let's actually delete this one that we just imported. Ah, the stream is lagging for you, man. Shit, that sucks. Let me actually go to let me go here. Let's nuke this. Let's get back here. Mister, thank you so much. No, I mean, again, it's a thing that's gonna take us a long time, but you know, I'm not a content creator. I'm not your typical streamer, right? So I do this only when I have the time. So yeah, but you know, if you're, you know, you can see that over time, if you put in consistent, small, tiny steps here and there, yeah, things just you can do a lot of things, right? So you know, I haven't streamed now for like almost a year, and then cracking sound, okay. How is it now? Is it back? I don't know if it was Twitch or if it was me. Let's see now. Oh crap, that sucks. Yeah, I'm just seeing if it's gonna stop because I can see that there's a lot of skipped frames. Yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong for sure. Yeah. I'm just waiting a little to see if anything's gonna fix itself. Is it still laggy? Same on YouTube. Okay, so it's fucked up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think that it ever happened to me before. So I have no idea what's happening. Farted out, yeah. Alright fellas, let's just a desync between them. Okay, I see. Okay, let's round it up anyway. I've been streaming for 3 hours now. So let's round it up. I think it's a good time to round it anyway. Because it's over midnight here either way. And then I think maybe this is the sign that we should just end it. Alright guys, thank you very much for being here. It kind of sucks to end this way, but maybe the Twitch gods have just made us to quit. So thank you very much everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna stream tomorrow, so if you're there, yeah, just join. I'm gonna head off now. See you all around. Peace out guys. Bye bye.